During a typical month, my husband and I have a $360 grocery budget. This budget includes all food, drinks, alcohol, and household consumables. Over the years, I've gotten really good at reducing our grocery budget basically in half, and this has been one of the biggest contributing factors in how we paid off over 6 figures worth of debt. Over the course of years, we have saved thousands and thousands on groceries by just being more intentional. And today, I'm spilling all my secrets exactly how we keep our grocery budget so low. But before I get into that, just a reminder, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can keep seeing money-saving videos just like this. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing you're going to do is to create a grocery budget. I know, if you've seen literally any video of mine, you know a budget's gonna come into play. But this is the first step you have to take, because without a grocery budget, you might just go to the store, buy whatever looks good, waste a lot of money, and not to mention probably waste a lot of food at the same time. So a lot of people ask, well, where do I begin? I have no idea how much to budget for. And I'll say I happen to be on the same page as Jordan Page when it comes to how much to budget for. And her rule of thumb is that for every person in your household, spend $100 per person per month on groceries. But you have a starting budget of $300 no matter how many people are in your household. So for example, for 2 people, you start with a budget of $300. For 3 people, you also have a budget of $300 per month. For 4 people, $400, 5 people, $500, so on and so forth. So as I mentioned, my husband and I spend $360. But I will say all through our debt-free journey, even when we lived in New York City and even now when we live in a high cost of living area right outside of New York City, we were on a budget of $300. However, once we became debt-free, my husband and I did decide to prioritize a higher grocery budget, and that is why we're now at $360 per month. I would just like to point out that if you do have certain dietary restrictions, or if you live in a particularly high cost of living area, this budget might not be realistic for you, but I do say try here, start here, and then if you need to adjust your budget, you can do so after giving it a try, maybe for a month or 2. Okay, now that I've gotten my budget spiel out of the way, let's move on. Next up, you want to shop your home first. So what you're going to do is take an inventory of your fridge, your pantry, and your freezer, all of the food, condiments, anything that's in there. Now, if you've been doing this for a while, you might not need to write down every single thing because there might be something in your household that you're used to having all the time, such as certain condiments, maybe rice, maybe pasta. But if you're just starting out, go ahead and write an inventory of every single thing you have, and we're gonna wanna start with this stuff in the fridge first because that's what's gonna go bad first, and that's what you're gonna wanna use up first. Next up is you're gonna wanna grab your store's circular. Now, you can either look at it online, you can pick it up in the store, or you can even look at it on an app such as Flip, which is gonna show you all of the circulars or ads at your local stores and the ones you like to shop at. Now, a good rule of thumb when looking at circulars are the best deals are gonna be on the first page and on the last page. All the stuff in the middle tends to be stuff that's usually on sale or it's not on sale by very much. So the first page and the last page are gonna have your best deals of that particular week. Once you have your inventory and your store circular, we're gonna start the meal planning process. And we're gonna use those 2 things to create a meal plan around what you already have and what's on sale so you can be the most efficient with your money. Now, when you start meal planning, you wanna be strategic about it. Don't just assume, okay, we're gonna have 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches, and 7 dinners for the week. Look at your calendar. Do you have anything going on that week? Are you gonna be gone a couple nights? Do you have plans? Maybe you have to take the kids to this practice one day and this one night after school. You wanna look at your calendar and just be realistic, because maybe when you're gone one night, you don't wanna plan for a meal that takes a lot of time. Maybe on that night, you plan for a really simple meal, and then on a night when you're home or you have more time, then you can plan maybe a more drawn out meal. And when you're meal planning, don't forget to plan for leftovers. Now, I am team leftovers all the way. I actually love leftovers. If there's a meal that I had that I absolutely love, I get excited about being able to eat it the next day. I'm the kind of person, if I like something, I could eat it every single day in a given week and it doesn't bother me. I know some people are not team leftovers, and you just need to be. I mean, you just need to figure out either how to just embrace it or maybe reconfigure meals so they're a little bit different from day to day and you're not eating the same thing. But be team leftovers, and don't forget to plan for those in your meal plan, because chances are you'll have at least one meal worth of leftovers during any given week. Then I recommend having a list of go-to frugal meal ideas. Now, you don't have to have a gourmet meal every single night. It's not necessary, it's not realistic, and it's not a good use of money. So I like to keep a list on my phone and also in my bullet journal of frugal go-to meals that I know my husband and I love. And so what I then do is I try to meal plan around, again, what I already have and what's on sale, and try to pull some of those favorite go-to meals around those things. Then maybe we can experiment with a fun new recipe or maybe a more gourmet meal once or twice a week on the weekend or at a time when we have more time. The next thing I'd like to recommend is to stock up when prices are low. Now, for years, I've had an ongoing list of stock up prices, meaning I like to list out certain items of food. I like to know what stores are the cheapest and also what is basically the lowest sale price that I've ever seen that item. And that's when I try to stock up on it. So by being able to keep our weekly grocery budget low, that allows me to have excess money every single week where I can stock up on those sale items that are at their stock up price, which means when doing future planning, we're gonna have those items on hand ready to go for future meals, and I know that I bought those items while they were at their lowest price. Next up, when we actually go to the grocery store, don't forget your list. If you forget your list, then you are most likely just going to get whatever looks good. You're just going to buy ingredients. You're gonna end up probably forgetting something and needing to go back to the store, which probably means bigger chances for impulse purchases. It's just a mess. You don't want to do it. So just bring your list. Don't forget it. Maybe keep it on your phone because you know you're never leaving the house without your phone, and stick to the game plan. And finally, when you go to the grocery store, don't go hungry. Now, I know this is a big tip that many of you know, but it also needed to be stated. I know when I have gone to the grocery store hungry, I have grabbed so many things just because they look good, and we can't do that. Just have a protein bar, keep something in your car so that when you go to the grocery store, your stomach is satisfied and you don't end up just grabbing whatever looks good. All right, that covers my list of my 10 top secrets for keeping my grocery budget so low, and how I have saved thousands over the year and hundreds every single month by keeping my grocery budget low. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button so you can continue to see more money saving tips just like this.